What's going on, guys? How's it going? It's Tyler here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new video. Now, today's video, I'm already in the process of eating dinner, so forgive me there. I'm eating some pasta salad, but I did want to bring you guys a brand new video on this wonderful Wednesday. I'm not doing a ramen taste test, but I did still want to have something here that I'm eating, but I did want to discuss. So today, I am talking about really sadness. It's really sadness. A lot of people struggle with it. I talked about social anxiety, and there were things that I instilled within myself and practices and exercises that I put in myself to get over those hurdles. Now, one of the struggles that I did have at the time as well was sadness. Now it was unidentified sadness, which gets classified as something else, but I don't like that word, so I'm not even going to say it. But yeah, so I dealt with that. But there were things that I started doing to counteract that because I started identifying what was happening. I started realizing things, and I'll pinpoint the ideas in my head that put me on the track to becoming a healthy minded individual. Now, one of the big things I want to touch on right here at the very beginning, and this is very powerful, and this is actually, I mean, it does stem, it's in the Bible, but there's power in the word. There's power in the tongue, there's power in the word. So whenever you do identify yourself as certain things, today I'm blank, I'm feeling blank, I am blank, I used to be blank, I have blank. When you're filling in those blanks, and you're filling them in with negatives, and you're declaring that and saying that you are blank or you have blank, you are declaring that on yourself. You don't want to declare it on yourself, you want to rebuke it from yourself, you want to get it away, because if you don't like it, why would you welcome it? So you saying that you are blank, every time you say you are blank, you're welcoming that, so you don't get to complain about it. Not you personally. That was me. That was my internal dialogue. My awakening to what was happening. But you're waking up every day and saying, "Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm blank." Nope, no, that's not it. So one of the things for me when I realized what I was speaking from my own tongue and identifying myself as, one of the big things that hit my head was remember yourself at 8 years old. Remember yourself at 9 years old. Remember yourself at 10 years old. The sadness and the weight and the pressures were coped in different ways. I didn't necessarily get into the very, very unhealthy mindset of it all. There was always something I would do. There was always something I would, figure out to entertain myself with, and just get over it, really. And so eventually, creeping into later years and getting closer into adulthood and everything like that, I didn't have that childlike mind, that innocence to really just put my hands on anything whenever I'm feeling that way. So I started more and more shutting down, right? Well, again, like I said, in my head, I started imagining my little self, and it's like, would my young self, say I'm these things? No, my young self actually had a pretty big ego. And so to have somebody saying, I don't have control of my emotions, like I don't know my thoughts, I don't know that, my younger self would look at them like they're crazy and be like, you're a weak-minded individual. So I know what my younger self thought of like people even addicted to cigarettes, to allow themselves to know that they're addictive to this and that, and then continue to do it and become addicted. To me, it made no sense, and it was a weakness to me. Well, unfortunately, whenever you take a view like that and take a stance like that, especially younger, being so naive, chances are you're going to creep into those things because you were placing a negative on something that you have yet to experience as such, and so chances are it's going to come back around to you. So you do get to experience it, and it just so happens I did. Ended up getting into smoking, getting into drinking, the whole thing that I completely demonized as a child, I came around full circle as an adult and ended up becoming victim to. Not a victim to it because I did it willingly, but throughout all of that experience, I started pinpointing those things. I'm not going to declare myself these things. In fact, I'm going to stand against it. If somebody starts saying things like that and saying like, "Well, you have blank," or you're acting blank. No, I'm not. I'm going to stand against that. I will no longer identify myself as that. And so, or identify myself as having that. And so when I started doing that and completely shifted that of how I spoke to myself, how I spoke about myself, people have this weird mindset of like when you speak highly of yourself, you are full of yourself. You're being conceited and this and that. When you say I'm great, when you say I'm an amazing person, when you say I'm kind, right? Those aren't conceited things. When you say you're pretty, you're good looking, that's not conceited. There are times where somebody has told me I'm good looking and I'm like, I know. There are things now, not necessarily, I'm not at my peak right now. I'm letting all my hair grow out just to see how it looks. I've never done it before. So I do understand I'm looking a little rough now, but I do understand that there are certain aspects of my physical form that are found attractive. And I understand that within, just the way the eye works. There's a lot of parts of my face that are defined, but they're also symmetrical. And the places that are not symmetrical, like my mouth, they're just slightly off in like a cute way. I know these things. I have a bigger bottom lip than an upper lip, which is attractive to some girls. So I understand these things. So for me to deny it would be me lying. So for me to say, somebody say like, you're so attractive, and me say, no, I'm ugly. I know the things I know. So for me to say those things, that would be a lie. And so you have to pay the consequences for that. So you can't lie. You are not naturally blank. You do not naturally have blank. Things have happened within your life to walk you down this path to feel this way and led you to that word and gave you a big sign and said, you could be blank. And you're like, I am. No, you're not. Walk past that sign. Keep on walking down that road. You don't have to stop at that sign. Even though it seems like this is the end, and this is what I am. No, walk past that sign because it's not the end, and you are not that. So keep walking, and then you get past, and it's a long walk. You're trekking it out, and rain starts. Oh, didn't think it could get any worse. But you keep on walking. You're walking through the storm, not away from the storm. You walk away from the storm, you stay in it longer, and you come back to that sign again. You're like, oh, and you're in the rain now. So you keep on walking, you walk through that storm, you walk past that sign, and you keep going, boom, now it's sunny, and you just came past a new sign that says, you're having a wonderful day, you're blessed, you're an amazing person, keep going, you've got this, right? It completely shifts. So that's what I did in my head. And I had to take a stance within myself and within the world and say, the things that I am going to declare for myself, I will make true. I will hold true to it. So whenever I say, how are you doing today? I'm great. I'm greater than I deserve. That's true. I am declaring that I'm great, but also being humble with it. I'm greater than I deserve. I don't deserve to be this great. I don't deserve to be this happy and this joyful and all of these opportunities. I don't deserve that. But that's the most honest I can be. And so intentionally speaking is where one of the biggest exercises that completely changed my mindset. Now, there were a few other things that pinpointed within myself that kind of made me wake up to what I was doing, and that was I started realizing the language I was using, the way I was using the language, and the influence of the verbiage I was using was coming from the peers that I had around. The peers that I had around was also saying, they're blank, or they have blank, or it was just, I surrounded myself with the people of myself. You become who you surround yourself with, and so that's pretty much what happened. And so that pinpointed another thing, and it hurts, but whenever you get to a point where it is for your own betterment and you really have nowhere else to look, sometimes cutting off friends is the best thing for your well-being. Sometimes leaving a circle is the best thing for your well-being, and you're scared you're going to be looked at as, and all of these people are going to start talking trash about you. And well, if all of these people start talking trash about you pulling yourself away from them, and you're no longer friends with them, you don't talk to them anymore, so now they're going to bash you again. You just saved yourself. You got to look out for yourself. Because if you if you leave a circle and they'll start bashing you for leaving the circle, and that circle was never for you. So that's something I realized. So even within the circle, you would experience, people talking about one another, and it's just it's corrupt. So I had to get out of there. I did that, and I didn't do it in full because, of course, they're my friends. They're the people that I've hung out with for years on end, and so it's kind of hard, and especially if you're all living in the same town, to kind of just pull away and just, it's like, what do I do? Stay in my room all day? Like, no, I need to socialize. No, you don't. No, you don't. You stayed in your room for many years. If you need to stay in your room for 2 more years and get your stuff right, get your mind right, you can do that. You're okay with being alone. So that's what I did. That's what I had to pull away. And so when I changed my circle and I changed the way that I was speaking to myself and to others, one of the big things that hit me was, okay, so it all starts with when you first wake up. You can go to sleep and think about all the things that happened in the day, but all the things that happened in the day started with you waking up. So you come to the end of the day and you're thinking of all the middle sections and this and that. Well, you could have changed that whole middle section with how you started it, how you started your day. So one of the big things I learned is I used to wake up and without even realizing it, want alcohol. I would wake up and by like 11:30, I would already have beer. And so within that, it come around, if I'm drinking all day, it come around 3 or 4 o'clock just in the afternoon, and I'm already plastered, right? Well, it's in the afternoon and I'm plastered, so let's enjoy it and, be belligerent. So then I would go out about 5 o'clock, drunk already, and be like, oh, if I'm already drunk, I'll save money, so I can go to the bar and only get like 2 beers and still enjoy myself because I'll be belligerent. And so I would do these types of things. So I realized it was starting in the morning. I was starting my corruption in the morning. I was starting my downfall in the morning. As soon as I woke up, I needed to get that in check. I needed to get that organized. So the way I started waking up was gratitude. It's the biggest thing that you can do, is waking up and immediately saying thank you, because as soon as you open your eyes and you breathe in and you still have oxygen in your lungs, it is confirmation that you are getting to experience another day. And so now you got to really pay attention to how you handle it, how you go about it, looking for the opportunities and seizing the day. All of these things pay off in the long run for the way you think. So the big thing was waking up every day and verbally, audibly saying thank you. Now there's different ways and different things and different ideas and whatever. For me, I grew up knowing Jesus. And when I got to my point where I had to pull away from all of my physical friends, I did go back to Jesus. And I was to a point where I even said to myself, I was like, I have come to a point where I don't even know what to do. And it's internal. So there's no way for me to extract this and someone really be able to analyze it, to be able to put it together and fix it for myself. These are things that I am going to have to analyze and spread out and truly get to the bottom of and piece it together and find that bigger picture. So I didn't know how to do that. So I had to go to an outside source, and my outside source was Jesus. And he is a fleshly example of the creator of the existence we live in. He is a fleshly form that allows us to be able to even perceive a savior, to even explain a savior. If it's not a human, we wouldn't be able to explain it in a way, and we wouldn't be able to wrap our minds around it. We wouldn't. We can think of, an alien and this and that. You can come up with theory, or not even theories, but you can come up with ideas and have fun with it. But you were given an example of an alien, so that's why you know what an alien looks like and the characteristics and where they come from, this and that. You've already been given the idea. Just like the Bible gives you the idea of Jesus. Just like people couldn't wrap their head around their own emotions until a fleshly form was shown that you're playing on your own emotions whenever you're dealing them for yourself. But if you serve others, and every opportunity of your life is to serve others, put a smile on somebody else's face. Don't expect somebody to make you smile, make somebody else smile, because if somebody else is smiling, chances are you're going to be smiling, right? So you're already flipping the tables. You may not feel good, but you're smiling. So you're creating an opportunity for someone else to smile. You are actively taking that negative energy and transforming it into positive. We are transmitters, we are beacons, we are able to do those things. But if you sulk in it, and like I said, stop at that sign and say, I'm that, you are no longer giving yourself the opportunity to flip it into positive. You could feel negative, but don't declare it that you are negative. You may be feeling negative right now, negative things may be happening, negative whatever, but that's not who you are unless you declare it. And then you will feel the consequences of being a negative. So you want to constantly strive to be positive, even in your negatives, because every loop or every swoop has an arch, has a peak, goes back up. It does. And so that was one of the biggest things for me was audibly saying things, changing the way I speak, changed the way I thought. And through that, I changed, people speculate, and it's like, you could break down, and it's like break down in your car. And in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm going to be late for work, I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to do this. All these negatives start flowing through your mind. Me, in my situation, where my mind is, if I break down, my mind automatically goes to, I needed to break down. I could have gotten into an accident up there and not know it. I could have gotten to work and something bad happened, whatever. I could be getting saved from something right now by me breaking down. So I have to be thankful, regardless. Even if I do lose my job, I still have to look at that as a maybe this was the push that maybe I've been given signs to quit my job or leave not quit, but never quit, but to transition, workforces. And maybe I was blinded and didn't see them. So now I'm forcefully getting put in a position where I have to relocate, So you never know those things. And yes, it's speculation, but somebody could say, well, yeah, like, you're going to lose your job, but you don't know that you get in a car crash. Okay, you break down and you're going to be late for work. You don't know you're going to lose your job. You don't know. People just automatically assume of oh, my boss is, a stickler and this and that, da 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 da. Well, maybe you're late that day, you show up and you still try your hardest and everything, and they realize we don't have the staff to just throw this person out for having an inconvenience today. So you kept your job, right? So you didn't lose your job. So you can't always speculate the negative because that's not always true. Just like, yeah, the positive may not always be true. You may not be getting saved from a car crash. You may have just broke down. But you have to remain positive, or you breaking down is going to ruin your day. And now you are not going to see opportunities that are going to be thrown at you. You're not going to see those things. You're cheating yourself by taking that stance within your mind. So that's just some of the exercises I do to this day. That's some of the things I've taken from pretty much just dwelling in that. Like, I stopped at the sign. I saw the clouds rolling in, and I stood there, waited in the rain at the sign, saying, I am this. Now it's raining. It got worse. It's the world. It's not me, because I was standing at the sign. The world put the sign here. The world put that storm there. And it's like, no, you have feet, and you didn't move them. You have a brain, and you didn't use it in the way that could progress you. So I shifted that. And for me, now every day just audibly saying thank you, audibly, giving thanks every single day, and then stepping into, I do push-ups, every day. So waking up and saying thank you, and then putting yourself through a physical activity that hurts. I mean, it's painful. I mean, burn hurts, but you can take that burning and it be like a fuel for you and say, nope, I'm feeling the burn. That means one more. That means two more. I'm going to show this burn three more. And you just keep going and you push past it until you just shaking and your body you do actually give out strength. And now you've already taken on a battle mental battle, pushing through one more. You've given thanks. You've cleaned yourself, get a shower every day. You eat a meal. Now you've fed yourself. You have put yourself in the highest positive place you could put yourself in because you did all of that for yourself. That was win after win after win after win before 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock even rolls around. You can get that under your belt before the sun even comes up, and you feel refreshed, you feel rejuvenated, and you're like, I've already done this. I used to wake up a little bit earlier and start reading. And then all these people around, oh, I don't have time for reading. I wished I had time for reading, da 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 da. And it's like, I didn't have time. If I stayed with my regular schedule, I wouldn't have time for reading. But I made time for reading. I woke up an extra hour earlier so I could get my shower and then just have free time to be able to read. I don't mind waking up an extra hour earlier. Is it such an inconvenience for you that you're missing out on some great stories, some great information in these books because you're not taking that extra hour? When you come home and you're scrolling through your phone and you scroll through about an hour and 30 minutes of YouTube reels, and then you skip over and now you're in Facebook scrolling through those reels, and then you move over and you're on Twitter for a little bit. All of that time could have been used reading a book, a solidified, just an actual piece and body of work, rather than scrolling through timeless, mindless topics that you're not even getting to choose, you're not even interested in. And that's where I had to take discipline in myself. And I did start setting my phone down and just reading, not checking it, not doing anything. I did start, those are very positive things to do. So this is just some little life advice, I guess. And like I said, I know a lot of people struggle with certain words I'm not even going to say, but they struggle with it on a daily basis. And I do have to say, one of the biggest things to change that, to get out of that, is stop saying you are. You're not. You're not. You may be sad. There may be very, very traumatizing things. There may be certain things. There may be even, just you may be just absolutely flooded with darkness all the way around in your life. But you're not. Because you are a light. So if you feel dark all the way around, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. That's you. That's you. So you can feel the darkness around you, but that's not you. That's not you. So whenever you decide to shine, all that darkness is going to go away. Right? Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because you do have a spark. You do have a spark, and as soon as you let it light, yes, that darkness goes away. And then you get to serve others through that light. You don't want a light that just saved you to just be for you. Now you want to go take that light to your friends. You want to show your friends that light, and then poof, there goes their darkness. Then you take it to your parent, poof, there goes their darkness. You take it to your sibling, poof, there goes their darkness, right? You want to be able to harness your light in that capability, in that way that you can just take it and poof, change somebody's life. Just like that. And so that's why I wanted to bring you guys this little bit, just some things I've learned, some things I've started exercising just within my life, and I think is helpful for if is applied. I think it's helpful to especially a generation that is being told so many different things and so many different methods. Keep it real, keep it true to yourself. Let your light shine. Be positive. You are a beacon. You are a transmitter. So at any point in time, you can take that negative and you can, now it's positive. You got to figure out how to do it. It's called coping. And some people take negative and cope with negative. No, we got to be transmitters. We got to, conductors. So, but yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you took something from it. I know it's kind of random and I know it was kind of lengthy, but these are some topics and some things that have just been in my mind that I would like to share, whether it be for a specific person or for an audience here on YouTube. I wanted to get it out there. I wanted to just hopefully let it hit somebody that can take it and truly that is looking for something to apply. And I just pray that it truly does, and it has the ability to shift something. So again, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you've stuck around this long, I'm sorry, I wasn't wanting it to go this long, but I started rambling. But if you have made it this long, go ahead in the comments down below, say I am great. Not me, you. Say I am great, because you are. And say that in the comments, and I'll know that you lasted 24 minutes. But yeah, guys, I hope you did take something from it and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead, smack that like button, hit that bell notification button just so you're notified every single time I post a video. I do post every single day. So with that being said, this was Tyler, guys, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.